Whatever.
All right. Hi. My name is Echo. I am actually the director and producer of this little documentary, Am I Queer Yet? A Non-Binary Black Experience. This has been a process. So it's been a long little journey to make this little film, to hear about different perspectives, just different perspectives and different conversations. When it came to myself in terms of my own personal identity as a non-binary person, let's see, I knew about the label for since 2014, and I actually came out to a group of friends and former friends through a Skype call. We were talking about gender in general. And so I was like, oh, okay, you know what? I feel like that term agrees with me. I didn't feel like I was in the category of man or woman or all the other categories that exist. So I was like, this is great for me. If my parents ever watch this, it'll probably be the first time that they, found out that I was non-binary. And ironically, it's kind of funny because I dated someone that was non-binary, and I told my mom their pronouns, and my mom actually got their pronouns right. So it was pretty funny that I have not had that conversation with my mom, and definitely probably won't have it with my dad. And I think about the conversations I've had with friends and close friends, and the perspective I've had over just trying to understand my own identity and just kind of go with the flow. Where's that water? There it is. Water was gone. Yay! And now I'm gonna go outside to go smoke a cigarette. Wait, what was this? All right, shut the door. Okay, so let's see. And, when it kind of comes to myself and how I feel within like the queer community, I kind of feel like not entirely, accepted. So it what was I saying? Oh, oh yeah. So I guess like acceptance within a community that I never really kind of identified with is interesting because before I kind of considered myself terminology wise, I guess, as non-binary. Um, I'll get out your way. I'm running. I'm going as fast as I can. No, oh my God. It was, I guess, I felt like kind of like an outsider, I guess you could say, because it's just, I felt like kind of like I was kind of looked at differently. And then when you kind of look within like the queer community, um, it it's like it's like a bunch of white people, and I don't feel like it's like a community kind of for me, or in terms of it just overall, it's like where's it at? Oh, oh, there, where's my lighter? Come on, come on, damn it, go, go, I got you. Yes. Um, it is, I guess you could say, interesting because I don't necessarily agree with the term queer. I don't think you should have to act or dress a certain way. Like even right now, I'm dressed this way, and I'll still get misgendered. Um, so I guess like it's not so entirely interesting. It's like difficult because you in a way want to be part of a community where you kind of feel accepted and somewhat safe. But and I think that's one like kind of like issue that I kind of face as a black non-binary person is that yeah, there's a queer community there, but they're not always accepting towards like black people that are non-binary or agender or so on. They're like, oh, okay, you're queer, or so we accept one half of you, but you know the other half we don't really kind of care about. We'll just say that we do, but really in reality we don't. And so I kind of felt that there was something that I had to like think about internally, like with myself, and it's like how do I go about navigating just being and it's like you go to a community and you're like, oh, okay, cool. This kind of feels right. It feels accepting. It feels like I could have fun here. But even here in Austin, there's quite a few queer spaces, but they cater to mainly white people. And in those spaces, even though I can have fun dancing or talking to people, it's just not the same when there's just white people and no black people, no Latino people, no Asian people, just anyone that's not white. Like it is a space and it isn't a space. It's like a, what is it? What's the word? It's like a juxtaposition of two different parallels. And I kind of feel like that's plays into like being black and non-binary versus being white and non-binary. Because if you're white and non-binary, they're like, oh, you're non-binary because you dress like this or you act like this. Or you go here, you do that. Now, and as I continue to think about this noun, it just makes me think more. So it's like you don't really see black non-binary people depicted really kind of almost anywhere, like in really any kind of artistic space. And even if they are there, you don't hear about them that often. Is you have these concepts of gender, you have like these like ideas, you have these notions that in order to be in this subset of this minority group, you have to be this way. But then you're in another marginalized group that is kind of forced to be that way or told that they're not who they are. They don't get to dress how they want to dress. They don't get to talk how they want to talk. They aren't supposed to have just straight friends or cisgender friends or friends that are it's this way. Yeah, it's this way. No, I got this. Ah, ow. As much as I talk about this, I don't know if there's a lot more I can say, but I feel like there's a lot more that I can kind of do because, yeah, it's like thought provoking that you get to not solely just kind of try to understand yourself, but also understand kind of in a way how the world works versus how you want it to work or how it should work versus how you have an idea of how you want to, but also kind of acknowledging that, yeah, that's your experience, but that's not my experience. And that's not kind of what I want my experience to be, or treated the way that I want to be treated. And just kind of have, of course, there will be, other black people that they feel like they have a space here in Austin, but I don't necessarily feel that way. I feel like there's not enough spaces, and that if there are, they're probably overshadowed, or they have to be more of like events versus having their own little like location versus like, oh, this is a concrete brick and mortar place that you can go to and have a good time. And I'm gonna drink some water real quick. So it's either like having a good time or even a place to like have a discussion like I'm trying to have. Even though I know these conversations are important and they need to happen, it's in a way annoying that they have to happen and that they don't just kind of happen. So, because like with a lot of other issues, they happen like so. You don't have that same like news cycle about non-binary people. Like I had a discussion with a friend, and I was like, when it comes to non-binary people, it kind of feels like erasure. You don't hear about it. You don't even learn about it unless you dig really, really deep. And so it's a discombobulating because you're racking your brains out about, okay, so in order to find news about a black non-binary person, I have to look on Reddit, or I have to look on Instagram, or I have to really dig deep into like a LGBTQ like news outlet. I can't just go to like CNN, or I can't just go to like NBC News or some, even Fox News, even though Fox News sucks. But even Fox News, it's like I can't even find just basic ass news. Like it sucks. It's like, all right, cool. I get to not find myself anywhere. Um, I get to just barely exist. So it's not the greatest. I think that life kind of sucks. Like in a way, like it's cool being black. It can suck being black, but it can also be kind of cool. But there are a lot of moments when it kind of sucks, especially when it comes to like your gender, because even within like just like the black community itself, it's already hard because you have a history rooted in kind of like within the black community in conservatism. So in the black community, it's kind of hard to be accepted as like a non-binary person.
My name is Rya. I'm from Houston, Texas. I'm from specifically Hiram Clark, where Beyonce and the Megan Stallion are from. And oh wait, I forgot what I was gonna say. So my relationship to myself, when I think about like my gender identity, I try not to live in this world where it's like man, woman, guy, girl, just because I've never really aligned with that. Even though as a kid, I always wanted to wear a skirt and I always wanted to wear like the Pocahontas dresses and stuff, but I never really aligned with whatever like a man was or what a girl was. I just always felt like me. So I want to go show y'all something that I feel really cute in. Oh shit, that happens a lot. I wear this top a lot. I just got it recently in Houston. And it's like definitely me, pearls, crochet. And I cannot find my black skirt right now, but I wear it with this black skirt a lot. And I just it's so nice. And then as you can see, crop tops are my thing. I got another one and one, like I'm so proud to wear like these type of clothes. So when I think about gender identity, I guess I think about just me and like trying to develop my authentic self out loud every day in a world that kind of like says you have to be this, you have to be that, you have to look like this. So that's what I think about when I think about gender identity. What surprised me the most, I think, what still surprises me every day on my journey of just my trans experience is that, but I was nervous about like, okay, if I start saying like I'm non-binary, if I start saying like, hey, please tell me they, them, is the guys not, are guys not going to be attracted to me no more? You know, are they not going to want this version of myself? And I have been very, very, very surprised with just how much love I get and how sexy I feel. I feel very sexy every day. Every day I catch new things about myself that I didn't notice. And I think it's because you know, I'm proud of being non-binary. I'm proud of my trans experience, and I get to walk in my truth. And I didn't have that mindset. I was like, oh, I, let me do this, let me do that, well, whatever a gay boy does. And I felt like I was in a box. And it doesn't feel that way no more for me. It feels like I'm black, I'm queer, I have locks, I I'm loud. You know, I have all these check marks about me that now I say that are beautiful. Like I remember there was a version of myself that would feel like I can't be take up space. I can't, you know, I need to just shut up and sit down and make people like me. Now I'm like, I don't give a fuck about who likes me. I don't give a fuck about who likes me. I give a fuck about who sees my heart. I care about people that I want people to know that I have genuine intentions, but I don't care if they like me. I don't care if they don't like something that I said, you know, like because I know that I was I speak with intention of great intention and I speak with compassion. So anything that I say, it needed to be said, and it's this path of I think of being non-binary and just being trans. I didn't have that mindset when I was, you know, aka a butch queen. You know, like I was just like it was very doom, you know, just very straight and narrow. Now it's like rainbows and different corners I can go in, and so yeah. One thing I feel like people get really misconstrued about my me just being non-binary, they're like, "Oh, so you you're androgynous and that's it." And like it's like, "Okay, when you say you're non-binary, they're like, "Okay, so you are only supposed to be this way." And like, you know, it's interesting because when I first like was like, you know what, I don't really align with he, him. I just want to go by they, them. I didn't have a plan. I didn't have anything. I wasn't like, I'm gonna start wearing dresses. I was just, you know, I just knew that I didn't have that want to be attached to he, him. And I think so when people would like ask me, they're like, so or you go by they, them, why? It was simple. Like, you know, my why was different than the next person's, you know, like, and so I think the misconception was that like when you're non-binary, it's like you're going this way, or it's like I feel like trans experience is such a we're not it's not a monolith. Like it's layers and it's so many different levels and just being able to kind of walk in my truth and like figure out what non-binary means to me every day is now I'm just not choosing to align with societal's expectations of me. I'm not choosing to be what the world sees me. And I feel like too, you know, being black is already hard. Let's just say that. What's happened with just the state of the world right now, I sometimes am scared to go outside and be who I am. But then when I see people like me being slain, when I see people like me not being able to walk freely outside, I feel like it's kind of like my duty to to get up, even when I don't feel like it, to go outside, to rally, to get people together, because not only am I a black person, I'm a black queer person. I'm a black queer person who is gender nonconforming and who, you know, I don't fit in the norm of like I didn't just wake up and be like a gay black boy. I'm a gay queer, excuse me, I'm a queer black person. And I feel like that's a big difference. And I love making making that clear to people that I love my queerness. I'm proud of my queerness. It's hard. It's hard, like being out here and in a city that's full of, white folks and white adjacent folks that don't really want to see me and don't want to sometimes see me succeed. Or they don't, or they feel like they should choose how I should be loved, how I should be successful, and I have to be what I want to be. And and it's one of those things where I still, that gets me. That's what kind of like makes me a little sensitive, and I get a little in my feelings about it because you just want to be. You want to be able to walk down the street and hold hands with Jimmy, Tom, or Sue, and no one say anything. But because I'm a black queer person, everyone has to say something. It's always, oh, well, why did you look like this? Or why is your face like that? Or, it's never, I'm always objectified in some type of sense. It's never just, but when you see, you know, per se, a white twink walking down the street, it's like, oh my God, they're so cool. Yes, queen, yes, queen, yes, queen. And me, it's like, so is that your real hair? Like I'm so picked apart.
Hey, hi. My name is Rainy Days. I am an artist in Austin. I have met the majority of my trans community here, and comparatively, I've been living in Bastrop for about, I would say, 8 months now. I grew up there. It's a little bit better than when I grew up there in from 2002 to 2011. But I think it's hot, so I'm gonna go inside. Um, but the like comparison between Bastrop and Austin is kind of but comparatively Austin, so Bastrop is, you know, a small town, and so it still has a lot of the small town like vibes. Um so I don't know. Like I said, I've found like little pockets of queer in Bastrop, but not to the magnitude as it is in Austin. Um, but it's still nice to hang out and like an area that's not super populated. So, um, but yeah, uh, I still prefer Austin because there's a lot more things to do. I feel like all I do in Bastrop is just work, and go to the occasional party. But yeah, I guess that's the difference between living in a major metropolis in a red state and like living in one of the surrounding areas. It's nice out there, But I do like, unfortunately, see more Trumpers and more like right wingers than anything else. But it is nice on the rare occasion that I see like uh like a LGBTQIA flag, or like a person that like I'm just like, oh my god, another queer person. But I don't see as many like out black queers, so that's not as many as I've seen in Austin, so that's like a problem. Um no. Uh so I identify as non-binary. To me, I think that means just realizing that what I was feeling about myself and my gender didn't really fit any type of like either of the binaries. Like, I don't really feel like masculine, and I don't really feel feminine most of the time, so I don't know, I kind of fall in between. And then gender expression is just me um, wearing whatever like clothes I like right now, I guess. Like, my aesthetic is more um, skater punk, you know, the kid you might see in the alley. I think that's like my aesthetic right now. Um, the I identified with the non-binary label for, I think, since like a sophomore, when I was a sophomore in college. I think I learned about uh, that's where I learned the language around, um, like the different kinds of identities that people were using, and it just kind of clicked with me. Um, you know, I think the first person I came out as non-binary to was, oh gosh, I want to say it was my mom, but it didn't really like go that well, and it didn't really go bad either. Explaining my own gender, I've always like seen it as, I don't know. This might also like tie into the fact that I'm like autistic, but I identified with like a robot for the longest time because that felt like a safe space for me, and that's also where I found the term agender. So I like swap off. I know they're not interchangeable, but sometimes I feel a little bit more like non-binary, and some days I just am just like I am, just a blank slate. Interact with me as such, and we'll see what develops from there. In terms of like when people ask me uh, to explain, that's where I fall on the conversation. Um, um, for me, it like it felt like, I don't know, when I when I discovered that I was non-binary slash agender, it felt like a eureka moment. 'Cause before that, I was, I was hanging out with the other girls in like high school and middle school, and I never felt like that sense of we are yes, we are all like we are all female. We are all doing the female thing. I always felt like there were my friends who were like pretty and feminine and like girls, and then there was me um, masquerading as such and just kind of um, trying to like fit in. And I've always like gravitated to more um, asexual clothing. I don't know, not asexual, agender clothing. Um, but, well, actually, I shopped a lot in the boys section as a youngin', because I just thought they had cooler shirts. Like, what's the deal with like with that? And right now, I feel like able to explore more. Um, like I love putting on a suit, and I love like wearing trousers and like confusing folks when they look at me. They're like, but I can't really confuse folks very much because I've got that going on. Like, back in college, I always knew that I was agender and non-binary. Hey, I want to talk about this openly because it's been an elephant in the room. Yes, um, I get misgendered, maybe 90% of the time, even if I'm dressed like I am now. I think I'm pretty like gender neutral right now. But like when people see these like things, these melons, these boobs, um, they're like, oh, female. It happened to me when I was getting breakfast this morning, actually. I picked out this outfit and I was like, oh, yes, I am freshly non binary. This is great. Um, so it was, it is hard to advocate for myself when that happens because usually when I'm like, oh, I'm non-binary, I get a about like 5 second stare, and then they're like, oh, okay. Like, you know, it's easier, I feel like these days, because people are more inclined to ask pronouns. Um, so I think I have gotten to a place where I've set a goal. Um, I want to have a reduction by the time I'm 45 so I can maybe, live the last half of my life happily in my gender identity. So I guess come find me in 10 years. I want people to see me and automatically think, friend, what is this person? Is this person A, B, C? And the answer would be all three. So yeah.
Hello.
Hello, my name is Rainy.
Yeah, nice to meet you. I'm Echo.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Yay.
Let's go.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right.
Free to walk first. How you been?
I've been okay. Just been chilling at my partner's place. I'm super excited to have this talk with y'all.
Yeah. I am so excited to hear what you got to say.
Yeah, how are you?
I'm doing okay. Just chilling, watching a lot of anime.
Oh, nice. What do you watch?
I can't even tell you.
Oh, okay.
So much.
Same.
All right, go ahead.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you? I'm Rainy.
See you.
Hello.
See you again.
Yeah, nice to see you again. Oh my god, my foot.
Thank you for letting us.
Yeah. Can't wait to talk to you guys.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun.
Can I use your microwave?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Thank you.
So what's new?
I am going on vacation soon.
Ooh, where you going?
Puerto Vallarta.
Ooh, fancy.
Excited.
You gonna go party?
Yes. Definitely gonna party with
Oh,
the
nice.
gays.
Oh, yeah.
I'm excited.
2 whole days, no
No,
sleep.
with the gays.
Oh, just like 2 days, no sleep.
Yeah, so I'm just excited to get away. I feel like I haven't gone out of Texas in a minute.
Okay, okay.
Excited to be back from the beach. Let my Pisces era reign. Yeah, what about you?
I'm not doing nothing vacation wise. Nothing. Just nothing. But now that you're both here, first of all, I want to say thank you both for being in this documentary, and I hope you guys had a good time, fun time, kind of talking about yourself, exploring yourselves, and I think it's going to be great. So now that we're all together and talking more about this, talking about ourselves, I have just a question to ask both of you about how you feel about yourselves and in general. My general question is about comfort. So like what is that to you? What is that, and what gives you comfort? What makes you not just comfortable in your skin, but comfortable overall? How do you feel in a space, when you walk in a space, do you feel comfortable there in terms of, if it's a queer space with no black people, a queer space with black people, a queer space with people that aren't black? How does that, feel to you?
You want to go first?
Yeah. So I guess what makes me comfortable in my body and in queer spaces is something that I've curated over time. Really heavy in the drag scene, so people know me from that and know by extension that I'm non-binary, and so that makes me comfortable. And then wearing clothes that affirm my gender. So just the normal pants shirt combo.
Mm-hmm.
I'll maybe put my hair up like this. But there are so many ways that I can express my gender identity now that even if I wore a frilly dress, people would still they them me. So that's what makes me comfortable.
Okay, that's cool. Oh my god, that was a little rough. Not in that way. So I guess I'll answer it. It's a kind of a tough question for me because even though I'm non-binary, not a lot of people see it that way. Like they'll mainly see it like, oh, I painted my nails, or I wear crop tops, or whatever. I wear like women's clothing or clothing. So I guess for me, it's like kind of, I guess like anime brings me comfort sometimes. Music brings me comfort. Um, Talking about gender, talking about sexuality, all those things bring me kind of comfort because you can have these conversations and you can kind of, have a different perspective or learn a new perspective or have an in-depth way of like discovering things, or someone has like thought of something that you kind of thought about but you haven't really been thinking about it in that way, so you get a new viewpoint. So I guess like that's how that brings me comfort. It's just like being myself and kind of just like not giving a fuck really. um, and that's it. That's about it for me. How about you?
I've been like thinking about this since y'all been talking. I feel like I'm always on this path of trying to find comfort. I don't know if it's just anxiety, but I feel comfort, or maybe when I think of comfort, I think of ease. So I feel like I'm at ease when I'm able to be myself and have like, you know, safety, right? Like safety makes me feel comfortable. So like sometimes I feel like that I have to know that I'm in a safe space to then feel comfortable to be who I am or say whatever I want to say. And sometimes I don't. Sometimes I just walk in blindly and just hope for the best and assume. And I sometimes walk around like I'm, you know, indestructible. And I get quickly reminded when I'm around someone that, you know, doesn't like my existence, just because of who I am. And so I try my best to never go into those spaces. I don't actively go to like, you know, spaces that don't support trans folks. I don't go to places that I know are harmful to Black trans folks in specific, you know, and I just, I try to cultivate people that are nice and good, and so when we all go out together, whether that's even Chili's, it's a good experience. And
Chili's.
I feel safe. Yes, I love going to regular places and being myself, you know. And so like I try to make other people comfortable. So so my karma gives it back to me, like I can be comfortable. So I guess yeah, I feel like ease when I'm safe.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I get that. I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
that I I feel comfortable when I can, be myself, because I can't always be myself around certain groups of people. Um, it's like, oh, why'd you wear that? Oh, what are you doing? Oh, you have these pronouns, and you tell them your pronouns, and they kind of, brush it aside, or they don't get them right, or they purposely don't get them right.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, what are you doing? Oh, they're like, oh no, there's only a man and a woman. You're like, no, that's not gender. That's not how it works. So it's like comforting when you're around a group of people who either understand or can relate to how you kind of might feel about yourself. It's like being Black and non-binary. When you talk to another Black person that's non-binary and you have similar experiences or even different experiences entirely, it's like, oh, I get that. Like that happens to me sometimes, or oh, that's never happened to me. Or, like, what did you experience? Something different. So it's interesting. Like it's interesting to hear what you both have to say about what brings you both comfort, because I think that's really unique to both of you. Um, Even if I don't consider myself unique, like as a person, I just consider myself a person. Um, and I guess like kind of contrary to you making people comfortable, I kind of want people to be comfortable without me having to do anything. So it's like, oh, if you're not comfortable here or you're not comfortable being around me, then why are you around me? And so it's like, if I can't be around you and you can't be around me, then we either can't associate anymore or we can't be friends anymore. So that's how I kind of view it in general. Yeah.
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 All right. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. I was just gonna say that I understand. I pick up what you're putting down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Black Power. All right. Cut.